beautiful and blissful life to all the people across the world. My today's topic is love. In society, we generally listen people saying I love you very much among parents and children, among boyfriends and girlfriends, among friends and many other relationships, and even people having love for many things. But do all these people really know or experience what is love? The basic fallacy that we people are carrying within us is that we always loved somebody. This is one of the most significant things about all human beings, that their love is always for somebody. It is addressed, and the moment you address your love, you destroy it. It is as if you are saying, I will breathe only for you. And when you are not there, then how can I breathe? Understand, love should be like breathing. It should be just a quality in you. Wherever you are, with whoever you are, or even if you are alone, love goes on overflowing from you. It is not a question of being in love with someone. It is a question of being love. Yes, you are love. Love is not dependent on the object, but it is a radiation of your subjectivity, a radiation of your soul. And the vaster the radiation, the greater is your soul. The wider spread are the wings of your love, the bigger is the sky of your being. Understand that love, truth, bliss, in all of them, there is an intrinsic core. They need to be shared. They are not sufficient unto themselves. Sharing is intrinsic part, but they are not possessive. The reason is totally different. The reason is that love basically gives freedom. It gives freedom to oneself. It gives freedom to others. A love that becomes a bondage is not a love. It is lust. It is animal. It is not human. Love gives freedom, then it becomes human, but it is still a kind of relatedness. There is one more dimension to love. In the first, love is a biological need. In the second, it is a psychological sharing. In the third, you are love. In the first, it is a relationship, a possessiveness. In the second, it is a relatedness, a friendship, a friendliness. In the third, you are love itself. When your very being is love, you radiate love. Only then has love come to its crescendo. It has achieved the ultimate, the last. You can call it godliness. Let me give an example to understand love. We listen many times people saying, I love flowers. And such people like to surround themselves with various types of flowers decorated around them, which are plucked from plants. For such people, love means having possession of what they love, whereas in reality, love gives freedom and having appreciation. If one really loves flower, one should never pluck it, because when you pluck, it dies and ceases to be what you love. Therefore, if you know that someone loves flower, don't give a bouquet, but rather give a small plant of flower. Friends, since the day I realized it, I have never plucked a flower, rather allowed it to remain on the plant till it falls on its own, and you can see the beauty of it till the last. What is love? As per many people in the society, there are as many loves as there are people. Love is a hierarchy from the lowest rank to the highest, from sex to super consciousness. There are many layers, many planes of love. It all depends on you. If you are existing on the lowest rank, you will have a totally different idea of love than the person who is existing on the highest rank. Adolf Hitler will have one idea of love, Gautam Buddha another, and they will be diametrically opposite because they are at two extremes. Only at the highest peak, when love is not a relationship anymore, when love becomes a state of your being, the lotus opens totally and great perfume is released. But only at the highest peak. At the lowest, love is just a political relationship. At the highest, love is a religious state of consciousness. Buddha loves, Jesus loves, but their love demands nothing in return. Their love is given for the sheer joy of giving it. It is not a bargain. Hence, the radiant beauty of it surpasses all the joys that you have known. Love should not be said, but shown in every gesture, through your eyes, through your hands, through your silence. It should radiate around you. It is the same with compassion. It is not mentioned either. Real love has no words to express itself. Real love is a presence. You can feel it. It surrounds you like wind. It rains over you like rain. So whosoever is capable of partaking can partake. For whosoever is capable of drinking out of your infinite source of being, you are available. You are available unconditionally. That is possible only if love becomes more and more meditative. Remember, medicine and meditation come from the same root. Love, as you know, it is a kind of disease. It needs the medicine of meditation. If it passes through meditation, it is purified. And the more purified it is, the more ecstatic it is. A man is love when his being is silent. It is the song of silence. Love makes no conditions, no ifs, no buts. Love never says, fulfill these requirements, then I will love you. Love is like breathing. When it happens, you are simply love. It does not matter who comes close to you, the sinner or the saint. Whoever comes close to you starts feeling the vibe of love, is rejoiced. Love is unconditional giving, but only those are capable of giving who have it. One of the most mysterious things about man is that he goes on giving things which he doesn't have. You go on giving love and you don't have it in the first place. And you go on asking love from others who don't have it in the first place. It's like beggars begging from beggars. One more point. We often listen about people falling in love. Remember, it is wrong. One should rise in love and become love. This depends on the level of awareness the person has. To know more detail of awareness, you can click on the link to see my previous video. If you are aware, alert, many things simply drop. You need not drop them. In awareness, certain things are not possible. When you are aware, falling is not possible, not even in love. With awareness, it is impossible to fall in love, but rise in love. Falling in love is a dream state. That's why people who are in love, you can see from their eyes as if they are more asleep than others, intoxicated, dreaming. You can see from their eyes because their eyes have a sleepiness. People who rise in love are totally different. You can see they are no longer in dream. They are facing the reality and growing through it. By rising in love, you mature. Love becomes not a relationship, but it becomes a state of your being. And you become love. And whoever comes near you, you share love with them. It can be anything in this creation. You become one with it. People are frustrated in their love experience, not because something is wrong with love. They narrow down love to such a point that the ocean of love cannot remain there. You cannot contain the ocean. It is not a small stream. Love is your whole being. Love is your godliness. One should think in terms of whether one is loving or not. The question of the object of love does not arise. With your wife, you love your wife. Similarly, your children, friends, servants, objects in nature like trees, mountain, ocean, you love all of them. Love is like a vibe surrounding you, spreading all over. And if there are many people across the place simply broadcasting their love, their song, their ecstasy, the whole place becomes like a place of worship. Yes, there is no other way of making a worship place. In such a way, the whole place is filled with a new kind of energy, and nobody is at loss because on every person in that place there is showering of love from many people who are in the state of love. Do understand, life is an opportunity for love to blossom. If you are alive, the opportunity is always there, even to the last breath. You may have missed your whole life, just the last breath, the last moment on the earth. If you can be love, you have not missed anything, because a single moment of love is equal to the whole eternity of love. One more point. When you love a person, you don't harass him by saying, I love you, again and again. There is a limit to how much you can listen to, I love you. One gets fed up. Just try it on any lover and see how long the love remains. The boyfriend or the girlfriend will disappear because you can eat sweets, but there is a limit. Otherwise, sickness will follow. Here it reminds me of a best-selling author in America, Dale Carnegie. Dale Carnegie books have been bestseller in America. He used to run classes and schools where people were taught that whether you love or not does not matter. What matters is the word, the expression, as they are powerful. As who can tell about what is going on inside? Dale advocates, before going out of your house, kiss your wife and say, I love you, sweetheart. I will miss you so much. You may have other thoughts inside, absolutely contrary to this, or you may be thinking of your girlfriend, but that is all inside. Your wife is not a mind reader. So just say it, and it does not cost anything to kiss her at least 3 times a day. When you come back from the office, again kiss your wife and say to her, I love you, darling. People like Dale Carnegie are thought to be great philosophers who are helping people in their relationships. I am leaving to your wisdom to understand whether such people are really teaching the philosophy or hypocrisy. Remember, love first has to happen in the deepest core of your being. It is the quality of your being alone, happily alone, joyously alone. It is the quality of being a no mind, of being silent. Contentless consciousness is the space in which love arises in you. And when it arises in you, it is so much, it is unbearable. Its pleasure is so unbearable that it becomes almost pain. It is heavy like the clouds which are full of rain. They have to shower, they have to rain, they have to unburden themselves. When love arises in the silent heart, it has to be shared, it has to be given. You are helpless, and the person you give your love to is not obliged to you in any way. In fact, you are obliged to the person because he helped you unburden. He shared something that was too much in you. And the economics of love is, the more you give, the more you have. Because in your silent being, you are joined with the oceanic, the divine source of all. And as you go on sharing, more and more goes on flowing in you. Yes, love is the only hope of the world. And we are coming close to that turning point, either total war or total love. And this is a question of either or. There is no third alternative. There is nothing like a compromise now. You cannot be in the middle. Man has to choose, and it is a question of life and death. War is death, love is life. With this, I would like to stop for today and having an earnest request to choose love against war. Thank you for your valuable time and patience listening. See you again with some new topic. Live a blissful life by being in the state of love.